Hello, this is Nick995. For this video, I'm going to be ranking my PS4 games. Mainly the ones that I played. There are some PS4 games that I have, but I never played, or I didn't play enough of to get a full representation like of that game. So those games I won't be like on the list. And please go and watch my PlayStation 4 collection video. And yeah, so PlayStation 4, I've had this since what 2015 now, and I gained like over like almost 40 something games, digital, physical copies and all that. So yeah, over the years like I've collected a lot of games. And if you're watching this, please like, subscribe, share the video. Please share the video all over. Share it all over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Share the video. The views really help. And check out my previous video. Please check out my previous video about my top TV shows of all time. So yeah, so I'm gonna be numbering them 35 down to 1, because here there's 35 games. So number 35 now is Killzone Shadowfall. You guys, now this was one of the very first PlayStation 4 exclusive games to come out back in 2013. I did not like this game that much. Boring. It didn't have as much weapon selection. I don't actually remember much of it. Like I played it, it was very forgettable. But maybe like if I play it again, it might change my mind. But no, Killzone Shadowfall wasn't for me. That's number 35. Number 34 is gonna be Watch Dogs. You guys know Watch Dogs. But yeah, now even though some of these games like are ranked lower, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad games. It just means that, you know, if I'm also, you know, like it's a ranking, so it's all relative to the other games. So this one, bland experience, open world didn't feel as, you know, alive. The driving, the mechanics could have been better. Even though like I like some of the open world. Obviously, like in this game, you can hack things. You can hack traffic lights. You can hack all that sorts of things. Computers, cameras, and all that. And you get like there's a ton of weapons, but no, I didn't. Aiden Pierce, the main protagonist, didn't really do he's bland, he's boring. There isn't a whole lot to him. But even though I like the conspiracy behind it, the gang warfare, but yeah, Watch Dogs just didn't really work for me. That's 34. We're going down now. Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3. This is gonna be controversial. I know a lot of people love Dark Souls, but for me, I don't really like Dark Souls that much. Dark Souls 3. At least this is the only Dark Souls game that I played, so I'm not really used to the Dark Souls, you know, format. So yeah, you have Dark Souls now. I don't like how in this game the saving is annoying. You can't hold certain weapons unless you upgrade your stamina. It's just annoying. There's a lot of annoyingness to it. Although on the boss fights, they're very like the very first boss battle. It's like, oh my god, it's impossible. You shouldn't do that like in games. You should progress. You should make your way up to that boss. Like make your way up to that hard boss. But I know it's made by a Japanese company, and some of the companies over there they have a different take on games. So yeah, I just didn't like this one. Like I'm still stuck on mission 7. Like I can't get past mission 7. I'm a big fan. But however, for its third person kind of RPG elements, I kind of like it. It reminds me of Witcher 3. It reminds me a little bit of Witcher 3 with a bit of Skyrim in there, a bit of Skyrim. But nah, I didn't really. And the mechanics, you attack slowly like with a sword. No, I didn't like Dark Souls. Don't like Dark Souls. Mass Effect Andromeda. If I can find it here. Oh, Andromeda is here. There's a lot of controversy around this game. A lot of mixed reviews. Mostly bad ones. It's not a bad game, but again, just similar to Watch Dogs. Bland, boring characters. Yeah, there's a lot of repetitive missions. Go here. I believe there's like a take over this base. And there's, you're gonna. Luckily for me, I never ran into many glitches in this game. I don't know. I'm lucky. I must have got it 2018, so that's a year after it came out. So maybe yeah, it was patched up, but I'm lucky. No, yeah, just not a bad game. The exploration is nice. You get to go to different solar systems in this one. You get to there's a lot of customization, but nah. Even like the resources, I didn't really feel as invested to go find, and because you need resources to do upgrades and customizations, and I believe to unlock more areas. But no, I didn't really work for me. And the story was unforgettable, bro. Yeah, that's Mass Effect. Next game we're gonna look at MKX, another controversial one. This is lower on my list. I didn't like Mortal Kombat X, although mainly because of the roster. No, the roster and the story. The roster, you're missing characters like Shao Kahn. You're missing, you're missing. What's another character there? You're missing Shao Kahn. You're missing Fujin. You're missing like there's so many other characters. Oh man, I can't even remember right now what's going on. But yeah. Mortal Kombat X. Now, I rank this game lower. Now this is gonna be kind of biased. Mainly because I'm not really good at this one. I could never really get into it that much. I just didn't like the combat. The combat felt very unbalanced. That wasn't really for me. That wasn't for me. And the story was, you had those next generation of characters. You had, what's her name again? What's her name? I don't even remember. Funjin? No, you had Funjin, Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs, and I can't remember the other one, Takeda. So they're kind of like newer generation of Mortal Kombat fighters. I wasn't really a big fan because for those of you like who played this, if you play through the story in this, the story is kind of disappointing. At least the ending I didn't like. The ending I didn't really like. Again, that's missing characters like Baraka, Shao Kahn, Fujin, Scarlet. You're missing characters. Other man, I was going Rain. There's no Rain. So like if you go from Mortal Kombat 9 to this, it's a huge downgrade like in terms of roster. And 11 has a way better roster than this, in my opinion. 11 is a better game than this. But yeah, I didn't like this. But that's number 31. We're gonna go into number 30. So we're in 30. Oh, Battlefield Hardline, yeah. Battlefield Hardline now. I didn't like the campaign. I very little like of the campaign. This one is different because you're no longer doing soldier. There's not, you're not doing your typical soldier warfare. You're mainly doing cops and robbers. Like it's cops and robbers format. So you're in cities. You're gonna be, in police cars, racers, muscle cars. But the multiplayer wasn't bad. The multiplayer was actually pretty fun. Like my brother plays this. I used to play this a lot, like a whole lot, and like I would sometimes play it. So like I played the multiplayer a lot. I played it a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I could never really get into the multiplayer with this one because the maps I don't know. To me, just didn't work. It just didn't work for me. But yeah, you have then introduces new game modes like Blood Money and all that. Blood Money. You have was it the Pigeon? I can't remember the other ones. Well, yeah, that's Battlefield Hardline, and that's number 30. Next, okay, these games are gonna be ranked all together. So this is gonna be what, a 30 to 20? No, a 29 to 27. So the NBA 2K. These are all the NBA 2Ks for. Oh, never mind. 2K, yeah, 2K 17, no, 15, 17, 18. I have 16, but it's on digital. I haven't played it in a long time. But yeah, these are ranked 29 to 27. Paul George, you have look here, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, and Paul George, and then you have the Legend Edition that has Kobe like on the cover. So yeah, 2K. If I was to rank them, like this would be my favorite out of them, and then this. Sports games are kind of they're basically the same thing every year, more than roster changes and updates and with a few mechanics that change. But yeah, this one 15 introduced the My Team. I believe the My Team is called. Yeah, it introduced My Team where you can build your team and all that. Then, but as you go on, like you really see 2K. The 2K franchise went down because you guys know. For those of you who are familiar with sports games, you'll know that the microtransactions really has taken it over. You have obviously you have to. There's even ridiculousness where you have to pay for to change the hair color. You gotta pay for clothes like for my career. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of. But the My Team is very fun. The My Team is very fun. The My Gym is fun. Exhibition mode 2K18 actually probably would be my favorite actually. But 18 had it so you could have it so all NBA team. So or how do you call it again? I can't remember what you call it, but it's all it's no all historic team. So on exhibition mode like you have it so there's the best Lakers of all time. So you'll have Kobe Bryant, Elgin Baylor, Kareem, Magic Johnson, Shaq, all on one team. You can play on that. So it's the most overpowered team. Then you have the Celtics. Larry Bird, Paul Pierce, Kevin McHale, Kevin Garnett. Then you have, you could have like any team. You can have Chicago Bulls, Derrick Rose. You can have Derrick Rose play with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Artis Gilmore, Rodman, Noah, and all, so yeah. But yeah, that's basically 29 to 27. No, number 26 now. 26. I'll probably go back. Avengers. I would rank this higher. I really wanted to, but its repetitive mission design holds it back. The repetitive mission design holds it back. Although I'm a big comic book fan, big. I like Marvel and DC, but I mostly like DC more. Like I like DC. I'm more of a DC fan, but yeah, Avengers. It's very refreshing to see this game because mostly like when I look at superhero games, it's mostly Batman, Spider-Man, Batman, Spider-Man, Batman, Spider-Man. Those two take over. Those two games are heroes. They take over the gaming superhero genre. So it's very refreshing to get something new. But this game, it added Kamala Khan, who's basically like Mr. Fantastic, Fantastic. She can stretch super far. Polymorph, that's what her powers is called. No, I like the story with this. I like the story, the Inhumans, it teases the Inhumans. You obviously have Iron Man, Captain America. Like if you like the MCU, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like you'll kind of like this. You can kind of see, you see obviously Bruce Banner, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and like every character plays different. They have their own set of upgrades, own gear. The gear system is annoying because the gear is a microtransaction base. So you gotta spend money and you gotta grind like hell to progress and get this and get the resources for the gear. So it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take you like a long while to get the I don't want gear, the cosmetics. So if you want Captain America to look different, you gotta spend money or whatever, or you gotta do a certain challenge where I don't know. I just don't like it. And the challenges are ridiculous. The mission design is very repetitive. Go here, kind of like Conquest, where you go here, you have to take over, hack this computer, where you gotta have an Avenger stay in this area for X amount of time. Then you take over this area, and then so on. You're mostly fighting robots. There's many different variant of robots, but for the most part, after a while, it got boring. It just got boring. It's a real shame. This game had a potential. You could tell they're they really wanted to have it a live service game, but it's best when it's like when you see it as a single player game, because that's where it shines. The story mode is the best part of this game. But yeah, that's number 26. Number 25, Modern Warfare Reboot. I didn't play much of this. I didn't play a whole lot of this, but I played the multiplayer. I played this Black Ops. I played the single player. The single player is good. You have it has kind of like that feel for of the older Call of Duties, like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2. And this would confuse people, because in Modern Warfare, you're thinking it says Modern Warfare, so are you gonna think Modern Warfare 1? Automatically, but it's a reboot. I think of a series, or it's a prequel. Yeah, multiplayer. This is difficult. This is tricky multiplayer. I have a brother that masters this, that would laugh at me anytime like I play this, because I'm a noob like in the multiplayer, but not bad. I will say the multiplayer feels unbalanced. I will say, like, you're gonna die very easily. The time to kill is very fast. You're gonna die. There's a lot of different weapons. There's a lot of nice maps. Some obviously is gonna be like any other shooting multiplayer game where some maps are better than others. You're gonna have some weapons that are more overpowered, but man, yeah. Well, that's a Modern Warfare reboot. Single player is very good. Single player, very memorable. It looks at terrorism and government corruption, political corruption. Who can you trust? And this is his name is Price, right? Yeah, it looks at Price and wars in the Middle East and Russia. But yeah, then there's multiple perspectives, so you get to play multiple characters. That's number 25. No, 24, Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know what number Dragon Age this is, so please let me know below. But Dragon Age Inquisition now, you're looking at now. Inquisition, it's like a four player, no, like a four on screen characters like at once. So you're playing with four different characters. You can switch between them like anytime, or like if you're playing with people, you can have co-op, so you can have four people play like online, or or with you through the story mode. A lot of different weapons, lots of loot. However, like, the reason why I didn't rank this higher, it feels forgettable to me. To me, it just feels forgettable. Even though the story wasn't bad, it's kind of it kind of has that Game of Thrones feel to it, or Lord of the Rings feel to it. But yeah, but RPG. So it's like an RPG game, So you're gonna have dialogue choices. There's gonna be lots of areas to see, lots of nice sceneries, beautiful graphics. You fight dragons and demons. It's good for what it is, but I could have been better. This is something missing here. Like when I played, I feel like I could have been more. But yeah, that's number 20, 25, 24. Now, number 23, Lego Batman. Lego Batman. Let me sort these out one sec. Lego Batman I played years ago, many years ago. One of the first, I think this is one of the first games to come out for PS4. Obviously you can play as basically any DC character. Most of them. Batman, Superman, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Nightwing, Robin, so many, countless, endless. Really, this should be called Lego DC, because it's a DC. It looks at the DC universe. Whereas Lego Batman, this is Lego Batman 3. You have Flash, who is probably like my favorite character to play, because he has super speed, and you really get to get the feel for how powerful Flash is. Like when he runs, he runs super fast. And obviously every character plays different. You have special perks, and You guys know the Lego games. Some characters can get past this area, or you gotta be a certain character to progress through this level. It's very creative. But again, I'm not a big Lego. I don't really like the Lego game franchise. I'm not a big fan. That's why like I didn't rank this higher. But it's good. Again, it's good after what it what it is. It's good. There's a lot of areas to see. Well, yeah. Lego Batman 3. That's number 23. Next game we're gonna look at. Oh, right here, Injustice 2. Yeah, I know the cover looks different. Looks weird because I don't believe I have the. Yeah, this is a digital game. I was gonna have it. Digitally on the screen to show you, but I might as well show you here, like in a case. It'll be easier for me to film. So yeah, Injustice 2. You obviously have, again, just like Lego Batman, you can play as many different DC characters. Superman, Green Lantern, Aquaman. Then there's villains too. You have your Black Manta. You have Black Adam. You have Cheetah. You have what's the name? Deadshot. There's no Deathstroke in this one. And every character plays different. Some characters are gonna be zoners. It's like it's made by the same company that makes Mortal Kombat. So you have zoners. You're gonna have the characters that do high damage up close, and the anti-air, ones that are very good, with anti-air abilities. So this one, the story back in the story mode is good as usual. It feels this story puts like a lot of the DCEU movies that you see, it puts them to to shame, because the story here does such a good job. I don't want to spoil the story. Just look up Injustice 1 story, then you'll see. But yeah, lots to see. A lot of things to see. No, I mean a lot of characters to be. Each character levels up. There's gears. There's cosmetics. Kind of like Avengers. But again, the cosmetics, just like Avengers, locked behind a paywall. Some of them are like resources that are hard to get. It can be I don't like. It can be very annoying. I don't like the multiverse. It's kind of like towers, but there's many different sets of towers that you do, and some towers you have stipulations. But some of it I just didn't really connect with me like when I played it. I didn't feel motivated to play the towers. But I mostly play fighting games for online, and to test out so many different characters. That's the best part, like just testing out. See how this character works. See how this character works. See how this character works. Or how would this character work in this situation. Oh yeah, Injustice 2. Number 22. Next game. I know it's going to be weird ranking this one low. But Ghost of Tsushima. I can't say the second word. The T. Because you don't say the T. But Ghost of Tsushima now. Beautiful game. This is the last PlayStation exclusive game to come out. For PS4. Last PS4 exclusive game. So you have Jin, watch my GHOT review. My Ghost of Tsushima review. Lots of weapons. Not as there's a fair amount of armor sets that you can gather. You can customize your weapon. There's a lot of enemy variety. Every enemy plays differently. You gotta adjust your play style to take down this enemy, and you're fighting Mongols. You're samurai. You're fighting Mongols. So samurai are gonna be outnumbered. You really get that feel like when you play the game. There's the unique mechanic where the waypoint like is a wind. So you follow the wind if you want to get to your objective. A fun game, but however, it's very repetitive. It gets very repetitive. Every mission basically ends out the same way. You're fighting Mongols or getting ambushed, and so for the most part, like through the story, what you see, what you get, and but what makes up for that the enemy variety, and every enemy plays different. Obviously, you have the brutes. You have the ones that kind of attack you fast. You have the spearmen. You have the ones that will, attack you like on horseback. So yeah, it's very, but it's a beautiful. Looks so nice. The game is beautiful graphically. Yeah, but if it wasn't for the repetitiveness in the mission structure, I would rank this higher. But yeah, that's gonna be number 20, 21, 21. It's weird. I know it's weird having that low, but next one, Just Cause 3 is 20. Just Cause 3, open world game. You have a grappling hook so you can grapple onto anything. As long as you're in range. As long as you're in range to that surface. And look at me talk about Just Cause 2. I'm going to make a review on this one actually. Just Cause 3, a massive open world. You're looking at like 500, like 800 or 600 square miles. So that's like a small country. So the entire map is like an actual real world small country. You're in South America. I believe you're near, what was it again? You're near like a Dominican Republic or Costa Rica. But there's a dictator that, evil government that has taken over. And you, Rico, you have to take them down. There's weapons, there's lots of vehicles, there's so many things to see, so many places to go. You can even, like, what's very unique about this, you don't see this in many games where you can actually fly. Well, not fly, but you glide. You have a glide mechanism where you can grapple onto something and then you jump, and then like you basically activate like a gliding, like some sort of a paraglider shoot or whatever. So you can basically glide through the, through the world or whatever. You have your parachute, obviously. There's so many things to explode. There's lots, and there's lots of, again, like I mentioned, lots of areas to go. Seas, oceans, mountains, grasslands, lots of places to see. But again, why I didn't rank this higher? I would rank this higher. Again, similar to Ghost of similar to GHOT again. What you see, what you get, you're basically killing enemies. Every mission there's not a whole lot of variety. I would say this has more mission variety than GHOT, than Tsushima does. For what it's able to do, yeah. Now, and I want to finish the story and the side missions. There isn't a whole lot to do, so it kind of gets boring. But yeah, Just Cause 3, I highly recommend it, especially if you like open world games where you just want to have fun, drive cars. There are so many race cars in this game, and fly planes, helicopters, attack helicopters, tanks. My God, it's endless. There is endless. Plus, there's DLC where you can get like this mech, and the mech has like a telekinesis, so you can lift up things with this telekinesis effect. It reminds you of the Destroy All Humans game that I talked about in PS2 collection. Well, yeah, Just Cause 2. 20. That's number 20. 19 is on the top. Yeah, top 20, top 19. 19 is the only Ratchet and Clank. Man, I gotta adjust his seat. Ratchet and Clank, classic PlayStation game. It's a remake of the first game. You have lots of weapons, lots of areas, lots of planets that you go to. You got the chemistry between Ratchet and Clank, obviously. There's a lot of chemistry between them. Then there's, obviously, you got the evil, you got many different alien species and enemy variety. And, one thing on Ratchet and Clank, like what's really unique, you have many weapons, lots of weapons. Similar to Destroy All Humans. Lots of weapons that you can choose from, and there's even this weapon where it acts as a grenade, where you throw it. It's like a disco ball. The disco ball now, it makes all the enemies dance, so the enemies have no time to attack you. So the enemies will dance. There's a flamethrower. There's your typical blaster. There's the vaporizer. There's the pixel gun that turns the enemies like into pixels. These little pixels or whatever. It's very fun. The final bosses in this game is very hard. Like, look up my top 10 bosses of all time. bosses are the final boss was hard for me. Doctor Nefarious, whew, it's a pain in the ass. I would. Why didn't rank this higher again? Now it's ranked number 19. I don't know. I just felt like over time it kind of got forgettable. There's something I don't know. I can't quite quantify what it is, but something there was missing in this game. There's something missing there for me. I don't know if it was a level design, but yeah, Ratchet and Clank. I have to replay it. I played through this twice. I gotta replay it one more time. But yeah, that's number 19, and then number 18 now is gonna be Destroy All Humans remake. This is the first Destroy All Humans, so not the one that you seen in my PS2 game, on my PS2 collection. This is the remake of the first one. This came out last year, one of the newer games on my collection, along with a Ghost of Tsushima and Avengers. I didn't. Similar to Ratchet and now, it's a first Destroy All Humans, so you're not gonna have that huge amount of weapon selection as you do in Destroy All Humans 2. Destroy All Humans 2 had way more than this in terms of weapon selection. But what's really unique about this is the mental abilities. You had more in this one than you did Destroy All Humans 2. And then you have the hologram, where you can basically copy people. You copy people to disguise them or whatever, or to blend in, and but there are lots of challenges in this. The story is funny, it's like 1950s, so you get the 1950s, a lot of 1950s tropes in this. There's the Cold War going on between America and Russia, or that wasn't as yet, I don't believe. But yeah, there's like a war going on or whatever. So, and there's a political corruption and there's government takeover of certain areas. But it's really, it reminds you a lot. Like, you guys know, if you look at the 1960s and then they talk about like UFOs, they look at UFOs or whatever, or like conspiracies. So it reminds you a lot of that. There's a unique game mechanic in this, where every time he's crypto, so he's what do you call it again? What do you call the race? Furon. So Furons, every time they die, they get cloned. They have a cloning system, so they get cloned, so they just keep on coming back. They're kind of immortal. So every time like you die, let's say crypto 145, or next time you die it's gonna be crypto 146, or crypto, and then next time it's gonna be 147. But why didn't rank it higher? Because again, the game feels very easy until you get to that last like the last quarter of the game. The game feels easy, and it didn't feel. This is not as good as 2. Not as good as 2. I don't know but it has the mission variety, which is why I put this over Ratchet and Clank. No, it's why I put this over Ghost of Tsushima games like Avengers and all that. But again, this is just like with Ratchet and Clank. There's something there missing. I just felt something missing. And even like when I played the original Destroy All Humans 1 on PS2, same thing. But yeah, this is a complete remake of the first one. Complete remake. With improved graphics and all that. So yeah, that's gonna be number 18. It looks beautiful. The game world looks beautiful. Number 17, I played this game a lot. Mortal Kombat 11. They improved a much better Mortal Kombat X, a much better version of Mortal Kombat X. You bring back Shao Kahn, you bring back Baraka, Nightwolf. You bring back, he introduces new characters, obviously, like Chronica. Even though I can't be Chronica, I don't know why you can't be Chronica. Sentient and Collector, very nice. This one feels more balanced to me, even though like it still has issues like with the combat. It still has the overpowered uppercuts, and you're gonna have you're gonna run into zoners online, which is annoying. But man, I didn't mind the story in this one. I didn't mind the story. It was alright. There's time travel, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but Now towers. Now the towers are always fun to play. I play the towers on hard. I could play them for hours and hours and hours. Then again, like with fighting games, I always like practice with so many different characters. I always see, okay, this character does this character work for me more than this character. I'm trying to compare, So yeah, but yeah, very fun fighting game. I only played 9, 10, 11, so I don't really have as much perspective on it. I'm a very casual, like I'm a Mortal Kombat fan from afar. So yeah, but online is what I mostly play. Like when I play this on the game. Again, I would rank this higher, but I'm not a big fighting game fan. I don't really like fighting games that much. Like overall, if I compare them to other genres like action adventure and open world, but like this one, like this is like a very underrated fighting game. Like I really like it. Yeah. So that's number 17. Oh no, yeah, 17. The next one we're gonna look at Nier Automata. I got this. This is my newer game. Got this 3 weeks ago. This is the Game of the Year edition. Anime. You play as this sexy ass girl. Um, and then yes, so it takes place like in the future where machines have taken over, kind of like Terminator, where they basically taking over like the Earth, and then you as these droids, you gotta are these futuristic human slash, you gotta try and save like what's left of humanity and try and destroy these evil robots. There's close quarter combat. There's projectiles. There's a lot in this game. There's lots of nice areas to see, and it has a nice soundtrack. Like the Japanese developer, I don't know his name. That's made by Square Enix, but the Japanese developer for this, they did a great job. And whoever did the sound slash music is, they did a great job, very good job at this game. Like you have a lot of those, now this the music is so good, but obviously you have many different enemy designs. There's different level designs, and there's the arcade. Sometimes like it can be like an arcade style game mode, but it's mostly a third person action adventure, hack and slash, anime based kind of game. Lots of different genres in this. But yeah, that's number 16. However, why I didn't rank it higher? I feel like some of the bosses could have been better. Um, and again, the exploration isn't as fun. It's not. It's kind of. I wasn't a fan like of the exploration. Like there's this big map you gotta walk, and there's no horse. There's no flying or whatever. Unless it's too like story oriented, where you get like this extra mech that can fly you like different areas. But yeah, but thank God it's fast travel. Otherwise, the exploration would have been annoying. But yeah, that's Nier Automata. And I'm almost finished it. I'm almost finished this game. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Um, Jedi Fallen Order. Hack and slash game. Hack and slash third person action adventure. I really like the way how they. I know I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I like the way how they kind of tie in the Jedi. Looks at the history of the Jedi briefly in this. Takes place near Order 66. No, it takes place after, like many years after. He plays this guy Cal, who's like this new up and coming, up and coming Jedi. You're trying to uncover secrets of the Jedi or whatever of the. So the game, you have stormtroopers, you have the flame troopers, you have very different alien creatures that you fight. You get the big brutes. You got even like these space rats that you have to fight. You got these, like androids like this android that will run after you and strike you down. It does a lot of damage. Then you go like you get to go like into Empire bases. It's beautiful. Like it's a nice looking game. There's some motion blur. And there's glitches here and there. There's a lot of climbing, which I didn't like. The climbing in games, I know. I'm not a big fan of. Um, Yeah, but you have, there's a customization. No, there isn't a whole lot of a customization, other than a cosmetics where you go into a chest, you unlock this cosmetic for yourself, and it's only single player. So the cosmetics basically changes the color of your, uniform or lightsaber. But yeah, good game. I want to make a separate, review on this. But again, the what holds it back, the kind of the level design, somewhat the again, like mostly just fighting. That's what you're mostly doing, just fighting. But there's puzzles too, which kind of mixes it up. But yeah, very underrated game, like very underrated game. 2019, like possible candidate for a game of the year that year. Possible candidate. Yeah, that's number 15. We're in the top 15 as of as of this. So number 14 is gonna be Infamous Second Son. I had it here. Yeah, right here. I highly recommend this. Second Son, now it's kind of a reboot to the Infamous franchise, but it's a sequel. So it's 7 years after Infamous 2 this takes place. You have this guy, Delson Rowe, who can absorb the powers of other conduits. So you guys know conduits, I talked about them the other day. They have elemental abilities, so they have fire manipulation. You could have ice manipulation or electricity. Now, this guy Delson, he gets smoke. Then you get neon powers. Then neon kind of sounds weird. You can absorb light, and then you can absorb video like from like TV monitors and computers and electric lines or whatever. So yeah, um, Infamous Second Son. Now it's very nice. I really like the attention to detail, the mechanics. It feels so good mechanic wise, and for one of the earlier PS4 games, this is one of the best looking PS4 games. You're in Seattle. It looks nice. The world looks very nice. You have many different enemy designs, enemy variety, and you get many different powers and upgrades. There's a lot to it. Same company, Sucker Punch, the same company that made GHOT. Tsushima. Yeah, lots to see. A lot to see. Like a lots of great story moments, and you get to meet different characters, other conduits. Obviously the government is hunting down conduits. They're calling them bioterrorists now. So you're on the run. Then you see I won rewards too. I think like when it was shown in E3 2013, like a lot of people were impressed by it. But underrated game. Now the one thing I would say, the story was too short. The story is too short, but it has side missions which kind of helps it out. Well, yeah, that's my number 14. 13 is Arkham Knight. I know, Arkham Knight, I ranked it. Mixed reviews on this. I actually really like Arkham Knight. Well, aside from its story and lack of boss battles, but it's very a realistic take on what is like the perfect, like kind of like feel and what would it be like to be Batman? You get to, this one has the Batmobile. The Batmobile is its own mechanic in the game, even though it's kind of overused. And but the gliding feels so real. The grappling onto rooftop feels so real. The mechanics feel so. They really did a good job, and the fighting is very good. The sound designs, like when you beat down somebody, it sounds very good. And there's lots of villains in this. You have what's the name? Scarecrow. He's the main villain. Two-Face, Penguin, Man Bat, which is kind of like this mutated Werebat. Man turning like into this mutated bat. You have Professor Pig, which is like this psychopath, this crazy guy, and lots of characters. Arkham Knight, and I don't want to give like any spoilers, but yeah, fun. Like the mechanics in this game is what really sets its like is why I said it's so high, and the challenges as well. There's tons of challenges. I actually never seen a game with this many arcade modes / challenges. Just endless. There's tons of challenges that you can do, and leaderboard rankings. The story is what holds it back. It's a over dependence on the Batmobile. It turns the Batmobile into this tank. This tank kind of like you're mainly fighting like these, like you're fighting soldiers, enemy soldiers, thug, but like you have like these kind of robotic cars or mechs. So you gotta call in your Batmobile and you gotta shoot it down. So yeah, it's weird. It's kind of weird. That didn't really work with this game, but yeah, very good game mechanic, and it's beautiful. The graphics is beautiful. The rain effects, it's beautiful. It's very nice, and tons of challenges, tons. The the Batman Arkham series like never falls short of challenges. Always has that. Next game we're gonna look at now. We're on number 12, Battlefield 1, underrated game. Oh, I might have missed a game where I gotta have to go back and look at it, but you know what? I'll do Battlefield 1. I don't know where it is. What? This is weird. I have no idea where the hell it is. Or unless I'm blind, I'm looking at it. I don't know. Oh yeah, Battlefield 1, World War One. Oh, Battlefield 1 is World War One based. I'm gonna talk about these simultaneously. I forgot to put Titanfall 2 on the list. These two would be like side to side. I really like both of these games. They came on EA, silly as they are. They like I said in the PlayStation collection video. They made them around the same time, so the multiplayer for this one didn't get to grow. And there's a lot of potential with Titanfall 2. One of my favorite FPS single players ever. And there are lots of mechanics, like very nice mechanics, like how you run. And this one you can run up walls, and there's lots of weapons. Not so much in this one, but there's lots of weapons. Titanfall. You have these giant mechs, right, that you can take a control of, and you fight like other mechs and other the soldiers that take control of the mechs. They're called pilots, and then the pilots have their own weapon design, a weapon variety. The mechs do as well. The mechs kind of like the AI. They're kind of like AI, but you can take control of them. And there's lots to see. The multiplayer is fun. Very small scale. Feels very small scale compared to a Battlefield or Call of Duty. Oh yeah, Battlefield 1 now it takes place in World War One. Not a whole lot of weapon variety, but very fun. I love the maps. I love the enemy. The different game modes that you can play on. And you got the stories where it's like World War One, kind of documentary style stories. EA did a good job with those. Even though mostly Battlefield like I play for the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is what can really make a Battlefield game, go from mediocre to great, yeah, semi-automatic weapons and sniper rifles, lots. I'm sorry, not a whole lot in this one compared to other Battlefields, but mainly because it's World War One and guns were, they were different then than they are now. You got a lot of semi-automatic guns. But yeah, and challenging too. Like the at times, like you'll actually die a lot. Like you'll die a lot. But yeah, and big scale maps again. You bring back the big scale. There's Battlefield never fails to impress in how big scale it can be. Lots of players per map, and and a lot of players like on the servers. And the biggest problem in this, I say, the EA servers. So the EA servers they go down sometime, so you can't play online, and that can be really annoying. It can be really annoying. Oh yeah. So those would be like 12. I forgot to put Titanfall 2 on the list, so I just gotta do this. I'll do the rest differently. So number 11, what would have been number 11 is Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5, MGS5. I talked a lot about this before. But what really stands out in this game, just like in Arkham Knight, the mechanics in this game, the running, the shooting, the stealth, the sneaking through grass, the fighting the boss battles, they feel very realistic. The story, and then like what's very unique about this is that you have like it's kind of like the last Metal Gear Solid game that they made. Aside from what's the one they call it again? What's the one they call it again? Metal Gear Solid Zombies, which is crap. But yeah, the story is, even though the story kind of miss at certain points, like similar to Arkham Knight, there are certain stories, a story at points and whatever. So yeah, yeah. So Snake, you have like you have Snake, you have Ocelot, you have Miller, and you have Cypher taking over. Cypher, you have and there's Cypher coming in. You have Skullface, you have that massive boss, Halanthropus, and all that. So yeah. But again, the story was missing. I felt like there were things missing, like in the story. There are things missing, like in the story. There are things that are missing, like in the story, and so the story near the end, I kind of felt rushed, which they really should have put more time into it. Next game I want to talk about is DMC5. DMC5, yeah. Oh man, fun game. Underrated game for PlayStation 4. A very underrated game, and it's on my top 10. Top 10. Dante, Nero, and V. Again, I don't want to say any spoilers in this. So, each character plays differently, and it's like Star Wars Fallen Order. It's third-person action adventure, hack and slash. You guys know how it goes in DMC, Devil May Cry, and it's anime, so it's like Japanese base. Lots of enemy designs, and what's impressive is the bloody palace where you basically fight from round 1 to 101. You fight with one character, and every character has different play styles. And Dante is probably the most diverse. Dante being the most, because he's the main protagonist in it. Well, yeah, DMC5, man, fun game, like very 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 fun game. Like play Bloody Palace, and the story near the end of the story, like it's one of my favorite video game moments in this story. Well, yeah, that's my number 10, DMC5. Number 9 is gonna be Crash Bandicoot. I'm gonna try and get through these last ones quickly. Crash Bandicoot. I don't know why. I actually don't know why I did Crash over DMC. I actually had more. Really, these should be the other way around. But what I like about Crash Bandicoot, remake of the original, and it's addicting. It's addicting to play. Very, very, very addicting. It's very hard. One of the hardest games that I ever played. And no, I never played the original. I might have played it when I was very young. I don't remember. You have Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. So it's the first 3 games that they made. It's a remake of them. Graphics, like with current gen graphics, or which is no past gen because of PS5. So yeah, very fun, addicting, very addicting. But one thing about this, the jump mechanic is kind of broken. Where like once you reach that peak, you just fall. It's just a fall. So it's it's more of like a gravity like just disappears. So no, gravity like is there, but so once you reach that peak, and you better be able to time your jumps. So the main thing in this is time your jumps. Time your jumps exactly. So the fall is gonna be very 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 like a very sudden, like very 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 sudden. But yeah, so many areas you can go to, and obviously you go to snow areas. The levels, so it's like PlayStation 1 logic. So locally it saves itself. The game will save itself, so you don't need to manually save. It auto saves. But yeah, I had a lot of it's very different, like from the games you see now. Very 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 different. But this is the days of like arcade style games, and Yeah, I don't even know what sort of genre like you'd call this. I don't even know like the proper name for the genre. Guessing like action adventure arcade style. I'm not sure, but yeah, like I'm very fun. That's my number 9. Number 8 is Uncharted 4. I talked about Uncharted 4 before a lot. Action adventure, story oriented, great story moments, lots of great cutscenes. Weapon, it had a lot of weapon variety, lots of weapons, lots of sea, beautiful scenery, nice graphics, great story points. Endless things, so many things I can talk about this. It looks back in the past on Nathan Drake, and there's so many great things about to say about this. Now, I compare to the other games, to the 7 games I'm gonna say over this one was kind of forgettable compared to those ones. Compared to those ones, but it's still very, very, very good. Naughty Dogs did a very good job. I'm not sure if they're gonna ever do another Uncharted game. Well, that's the number 8. Number 7 is gonna be, oh, where was it? Spider-Man, right? Oh no, Resident Evil 2. This is the Resident Evil 2 remake. I have the digital edition. I want to show you guys this because it'll be easier. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 2, very realistic, zombie oriented. You have zombies. It really does a good job of remaking that, like that Resident Evil 2 original. The dark hallways. This one shows more of the dismemberment effect, so you see the limbs falling off, the jaws. Like I would just shoot zombies like the leg, they'll crawl towards you. It was very nice. You have Mr. X, that guy, that huge guy like in the trench suit, kind of like this boss that follows you all over. But you can't kill Mr. X until near the end of the game. So he'll follow you like until then. I really like that mechanic. And one thing about like horror games is that like you get so immersed into it, like you want to see more. But you're scared to see more, but like you want to see like, okay, I have to really plan out say I can't go this room. There's a lot of zombies here, but I need to go through here to progress to get like a certain item. It's mostly you're gaining items in inventory space, and inventory space stacks up over time, and you gotta always keep that important item that will get you like to the next phase or next stage or whatever, or our next room. So yeah, why didn't rank it higher? I'd say is because it's a short game. It's short, relatively short. You're gonna beat it in like 5 to 6 hours. Um, Actually, it's not as bad because so there's Leon and Claire, so you get to play both of them. Each one of them, they have their own kind of, there's different perspectives like in the campaign, where Claire and Leon kind of go their separate ways, and they kind of go to different areas, but it's mainly the same. It's just with a few areas that have changed. So yeah, it's a relatively quick story, a quick story mode. And then there's arcade modes. I talked about Honk, and I talked about 2 weeks ago. You have the time trial kind of arcades. But yeah, that's my number 7. Number 6 now. I wasn't sure how to. 6 is Spider-Man. I was either gonna do Spider-Man and Resident Evil 2, and then Spider-Man PS4. I talked a lot about this before. Spider-Man, beautiful graphics, nice story, great Spider-Man story. This is the best adaptation of Spider-Man right here. Hot take, best adaptation of Spider-Man. My favorite Spider-Man. Like, I like this Spider-Man better than the movie Spider-Man. So like, even going back to Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they did a great job. Whoever was the voice actor for this Peter Parker. You have Doctor Octopus. Who else? Kingpin. Sets up the Green Goblin. Mr. Negative, which I really like. I really like his input like in this game. And Shocker. There's so many. Scorpion, Rhino. So yeah, there's a lot. The swinging feels so realistic. Mechanics very nice. It reminds you a lot, again, going back to Batman Arkham Knight. That's a perfect Batman game, like from a mechanic perspective, because it's newer. It's the newest Batman game, really, from the Arkham franchise. With this one, this really feels like, it really makes you feel like Spider-Man. What it would be like to be Spider-Man. You really get the feel for it. It feels so nice. PlayStation exclusive. Man, I talk a lot about this. So yeah, that's my number 6. 5 is Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn, beautiful graphics, nice story, unique story. I'm gonna make a video right after this about this. Now, massive. You find these massive mech animal-based robots. You gain different weapon. You gain different, weapons. You're like a sort of a tribalistic type human group. So you get arrows, then you can customize the arrows. There's flame arrows, there's ice arrows, there's poison arrows, there's arrows that can mentally control the robots, and there's one that can there's explosive arrows. There's so many different type of arrows. What I really like about this is the difference in culture. Like similar to if you watch Game of Thrones and you know the wildlings and the different tribes, or the wildlings versus the and the Night's Watch or whatever. It very much reminds you of that, because you have the Nora and you have the Karja and you got the northernmost tribe. I can't remember what they call it in the DLC. So it really looks like culture, but it's very nice. I really love it because of the challenge that it represents, and each robot that you fight, there's different approaches to it. Some you gotta do stealth, some you can take down head on, some you can't. So yeah, but I'm gonna make a video right after this about it. So yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. GTA 5. I talked a lot of these next games. I talked a lot about some. I'm gonna spend a whole lot of time, but it's a very special type of game. Very special. I played. No, it's replayable. Very replayable. So I played through the campaign like 5 to 6 times, like over the years. I have this for PS3 too. I was debating whether or not putting it like on the list, because I already talked about it in PS3. But yeah, special game, lots, like fun story, fun. Lots to see, like your open world game, typical open world game, but it's really the standard for an open world game. Grand Theft Auto. You have lots of cars and great story moments. Some of it's kind of our reflection like of our real world. It looks into politics and teen drama and political corruption and government takeover and heists going on. There's heists and bank robbers. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5. That's the number 4. Top 3. Red Dead 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. Western game, open world, lots of sea, beautiful scenery, lots of nice areas. Areas are beautiful, swamps, mountains, snowy areas, lakes, deserts. Man, it's amazing. It's amazing for what it man, this game. If you haven't played this game yet, play it. It starts out slow. I would say the one thing, it starts out very slow, very 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 slow. The first 2 hours of the game is gonna be slow, but you're looking at like 14 to like 20 hours of gameplay. The story is long, just in the story alone. So the story is very long. It reminds me a lot of Game of watching it. I kind of got the. I'm not saying that it's similar to Game of Thrones, but I got that greatness feeling to it, where the story. I just can't wait to see more. I can't wait to see more of this story. I can't wait to see where they're gonna go. You got this gang of outlaws or whatever. They're trying to run away like from the government or whatever, but there's gangs coming after you. But it's very good. It's very nice, and lots of weapons, different horses. Nice, again, lots of areas to see. Now the fast travel in this one is back, but the fast travel is not as clear. You're gonna be again the missions can get a bit repetitive again. You're doing mostly shootouts mostly in the missions. For this person and shootout. But man, they did such a great job in this game. Shout out to Rockstar, man. Rockstar, man, one of the best gaming companies around. I know there's controversy like with the multiplayer in this, which I don't play the multiplayer in this. I only play for the single player. Exploration, endless NPCs to meet, lots. Number 2 is Witcher 3. Witcher 3, similar to Red Dead, endless exploration, lots of NPC, lots of different characters to meet. Side missions, endless side missions. The side mission leading like into this side mission, into another side mission. Reminds you a lot of Skyrim, a lot of Skyrim. Geralt of Rivia, he's a witcher. He's kind of, you have this super senses, so you can smell like, you can hear very well. You can see. You have super eyesight, super hearing, all sorts of things. What I really like is the enemy. There's different enemy design. There's enemy variety, and the dialogue is amazing. It's like watching Game of Thrones. This is like watching Game of Thrones. Where you can't wait to see more. Where's the story going? He's looking for Ciri. He's gonna find Ciri here. He's gonna lead to another quest, and you gotta. But there's different choices, and the choices that you make, it can impact the story like dramatically. So you gotta really think. It really forces you to think. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? It's RPG based. So some the decisions that you make can have major repercussions. Like I always save right before I make a major decision. I save, then I think to myself, would it make sense for me to go with this decision? So I save and I said, okay, I'm gonna go here. See how this plays out. Then I'm gonna load back to that previous save. Then I'm gonna go like with another decision. Then see how that would work out. So yeah, very 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 good. Really good. Witcher 3. God of number 1. The God of War. God of War PS4. God of War 4, really. Huge open world. Massive scale. Lots of exploration, lots to see. Again, just like Red Dead 2, you go to mountains, you go to swamps, there's grassy areas, there's snowy areas, lots to see. You go different realms, and the chemistry between Kratos and Atreus is great. It's amazing. MVP quality. MVP. No, like Game of the Year quality. Game of the Year quality. This one Game of the Year, 2018. I can't wait for God of War 5. When God of War 5 comes out, I'm gonna buy a PS5. I'm gonna buy a PS5 like when God of War comes out. Without question, I'm gonna buy a PS5. But yeah, anyways, those are all my PS4 games. Well, most of them that I was able to rank. This video is gonna be longer than I thought it would be. But again, like when I'm talking about games, I just get carried away. I love talking about games. This is my passion. That's why you see most of my videos is centered around video games, and talking about all sorts of things like like when I do the ranking, I look at things like mechanics and progression, and like you say, how long is the story? Am I emotionally invested? Is it fun? And upgrades and all that. So yeah, those are 36 games. Sorry about the Titanfall 2 Battlefield 1. It kind of messed me up near the end. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Next video I might talk about Horizon or more about Uncharted 4 or some of my older games. But thank you. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Thank you.